All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Drumbridge Farms. This is Needs More Drums, and it has been a minute since I have been on Drumbridge Farm. Just life has been really busy, and so it's great to be back on the farm, and we have an exciting episode for you all today. So first things first, it is April, a beautiful April morning. We have a lot of work to get done to start the season. But first, I want to show you guys what we've been up to over the winter. So we've sold all of our silage bales. We made a bunch of money. We had over 100 grand in the bank at one point. I think we sold about 150 bales. Yeah, just tons of money came in. So we spent that money on a couple of things. So as promised, we got a new tractor. You all voted. I found some offers online, and I couldn't resist the offer for this this Fendt. It's a what does that say? 822. I think it's got about 200 some horsepower. It's actually a little bit more powerful than the John Deere that we have. So great for the farm, a great addition. It's got a 3-point hitch on the front as well, so we could use it, to run mowers and things in the future. It's a little bit older. It's got some hours on it, so we got it for about 60 grand used from a local farmer. I know Liam, around the area has a very similar tractor, but like I said, I just couldn't pass this up. It was such a great offer. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to get using it some more. We use it over the winter to deliver some of those bales. And it is a manual, so it's a little bit different than the CVT that we have in the John Deere. But, very, very powerful, very capable tractor for the farm. An excellent addition to our equipment. And then, so other than that, we actually got a couple of more things. So let's go head down to the other yard, and I will show you guys the rest of what we've got. All right, so just coming up to the other yard here, as you can see on the right, there is a brand new Samas windrower right here, this green one straight in front of us. This is I think it's about 8 meters wide, which is fantastic compared to our little single windrower there. This has, double the, I don't know what you call those, rakes, I guess. It's like a double rake windrower, sure. But anyway, so we got that, and I actually decided to keep the old one because we do have some small fields where the old one is fine, like the field just behind us. But for some of the bigger fields, having this twice as big windrower is really going to help us out. And what's nice is that it windrows the swath right in the middle, so it's really easy to get the swaths together. And I'm really excited about that. That cost us, it was like it was less than 20,000. We actually got that new, but that'll be a great piece of equipment for us to have on the farm. And I opted to buy that instead of new mowers because I think the mowing is going to be, fine for now. We'll actually use our income from this upcoming harvest to invest in a new mower. That's the next thing on my list. So I'm not too as pressed about that. I think that the windrowing took so long, and it's going to be really nice with 2 tractors to have a very capable windrower, and then we can follow directly behind it with a bale or with a baler and knock out our grass work pretty quickly compared to the last season. So that was very tedious, and now it's not going to be as bad. And now just one more thing that I want to show you all today before we get started with our jobs for the springtime is our new field. So we bought some new land. Like I said, we made over 100 grand, so we spent some of that on the new windrower. And now we have some new land. And so this field, this grass field just to our right here, this is now ours. It was another one of, it was Liam's fields. Or was it Mason's? I don't remember. Anyway, we bought it from either Liam or Mason. It's been a few months, so I can't remember quite as well. But it's very sizable. Only grass right now, so my goal is to mow it, and then I actually want to plant some crops in this field. So we need to lease a plow. We'll get it plowed up, turn it into a get it properly tilled to be a proper field, and then we'll seed it with. I'm thinking we can seed some oats. So it is April. We have a little bit of time to get some oats in the ground. The planting season for oats, I believe, is March and April, if I remember correctly. It's April and May, but nonetheless, we have plenty of time to get some oats in the ground still. So I want to mow this first today, and then we'll have my dad kind of help out with some of the other mowing in some of the other fields, and we can start getting this drilled and ready with some crops. And the reason that I want to put crops in this field is because, as you can see right here, it has this double wide gate, so we can actually get a combine in here. The other grass field, just north of it there, or east of it, I guess. North is this way, but anyway, or maybe it's not. No, it is north. Totally. Yep, it's totally north. But anyway, the other grass field, we can't get a combine in there. There's the gate's too small. I didn't put a big enough gate in, and I didn't want to remove a bunch of hedges, you know, to try to fit a gate in there. And so, yeah, that's one thing that we got to consider about the land in this area, is that a lot of these fields will not be big enough to get a combine through. So this is gonna be great, and you know, we can, I guess, you know, we can get a combine in the other fields, but the way that the field is set up is that it's right up against the gate, so we won't be able to get a combine through with a header. And in order to get a header on there, we'd have to, you know, pull it behind the combine, drive into the field, potentially destroy some of the crops. Whereas this one, we can actually hook up a header and go straight through that double wide gate and not have to worry about damaging any of the crops when we drive into the field. So, good investment. I'm really excited about this. That's another field of grass work that another field of grass that we're gonna be able to turn into some bales. And so I think this time around, I think I'm gonna do, since it's the first cut and it's springtime, I think I'm gonna do some hay bales. Silage, you know, kind of took a while to, you know, we had to wait for it to ferment before we can sell it. Whereas the hay, what we could do is we could sell the hay right away, and then we can invest in a new mower. And then that'll make our second round of grass work quite a lot easier in the summer before we have to cultivate this big field up here to our right, because I plan on planting some winter wheat or barley in this field. And so we got to wait. The planting season for that is a little bit later in the year. So we're going to get 2 cuts off of this, and maybe even potentially a third if we're really ambitious, but that'll really help out with you know, our income for the whole year. So really excited for this. But yeah, you can see the grass is ready to be cut on all of our fields. It's looking very, very nice. And then which reminds me, we do have to spend a little bit of time this year on getting some you know, nutrients in the ground, and we got to be mindful of that. Let's actually just go ahead and jump into the map here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So like I said, the plan today is to cut fields 2, 36, and 38. Maybe get started on 5 if I can, but if I gotta wait till tomorrow for that, I'm not gonna be too upset. But if we can get 2, 36, and 38 cut, windrowed, and even potentially baled today, I'll be really, really happy. We also have to ted it. Since we're gonna make some hay, we have to ted those as well. So it's gonna be a little bit of work, but we have 2 tractors now, so it's gonna be fantastic. My dad can help us out. You know, there's no more of this back and forth in one tractor. You know, we can both be working at the same time and just have the time that it's gonna take to get all these jobs done. And so you can see here that our soil is kind of lacking some nutrients. You know, we need to pay attention to this. I think we're okay on lime, but we could definitely do better. So I think once we cultivate field 5, we're going to get some lime down. I don't think we don't have a direct rail seeder, so we will need to cultivate it before we plant, which means that there will be a little bit of a window to get some lime down before we plant the seeds. And then in terms of our nitrogen, I'm actually going to wait on the nitrogen and just do all the fields at once, because I want to wait until after the crop is after we cultivate field 5, because I have a feeling that cultivating the grass into field 5 is going to really help boost the nutrient content of the soil. So it's kind of an organic fertilizer for us. And, you know, don't quote me on that, but we're going to see. So that's later. That's come a little bit later. But for now, let's go ahead, jump in to, you know what? We're going to take, I think we're going to try out the new tractor. We're going to take the fence out. We're going to hook it up to the mower. I'm going to go ahead and get started with some mowing. So I will see you guys shortly. All right. And so we're just getting done here mowing this field, which is the first of the 3 that we would like to mow today. So we're just going to make this last pass here and then head over to probably the new field, and we'll get that cut. And then my dad is going to head over here with the John Deere, hook up to the tedder and get this tedded for us, so we can, you know, get this turned into some hay. But should be a pretty good day. I don't envision any of this taking too long. But yeah, it is crazy though how bouncy this grass is. I mean, look at this. It's like you're driving over like a boulder field or something. It's crazy. I swear grass is not this strong, but anyway. All right, I'll see you guys in the next field, and we'll probably just jump into a little bit of a time lapse, get everything cut, and I'll touch base with you guys once we have mowed the next couple of fields. So see you soon. And all right, guys, my dad's jumped into the John Deere. He's working on getting this field tedded so we can start making some hay. We just finished giving that a fresh cut, which is fantastic. And now we are gonna go and head back to the other yard and pick up the windrower. So we'll go ahead and just windrow all these small fields. Like I said, my goal today is to try to get everything windrowed and baled. We are expecting a brief rain shower at about, I think, in a couple of hours. Shouldn't be anything significant enough to impact the quality of our hay. I think the grass, you know, now that we've had it tedded for a little bit, should still be pretty dry, so a little bit of a drizzle won't have that much of an impact. But yeah, we're gonna go and put these in some nice windrows, and then we will just go ahead and get right to baling. And then after that, we're just gonna try to sell these bales pretty quickly because, again, as I said, I'd like to get these sold, and then use that money if we make enough. I hope that we will, but we'll see. If we make enough, I'd like to use that money to buy a bigger mower, and then we can, you know, use that for the big grass field. And if something happens and we can't afford a big mower right away, then, you know, it's not the end of the world. We'll just you know, use what we got and yeah, just figure it out a little bit later. But it'll be nice too with having 2 tractors anyway. It'll make the work on the big grass field quite a bit shorter than before. So can't really complain there. Yeah, let's go ahead and just drop this down. I think we'll grab the we'll try the new one out here. See how it works. I know that these fields are maybe a little bit small for this windrower, but I'd like to give it a try since we got it. You know, the less time we got to spend in the field, the better. Want to get these jobs done pretty quick, since we do have quite a lot of grass work to do this season. Yeah, this new tractor is fantastic, or I guess a new to us tractor. It's working really well. It's got a lot of power. I've been very happy with it, and sounds great, looks great. Can't complain at all. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get this unfolded, jump into some quick time lapses, and get this all windrowed and baled. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, welcome back. As you may notice, it is currently the next day, it's the morning, and we're in a different tractor. So the reason is, we actually got a little bit of a hailstorm last night. It lasted for a few hours, so we were able to, we had to stop work a little bit early, and then by the time it was done, it was kind of dark. But we did finish getting everything in the small fields windrowed and baled. We started the baling this morning and got it done pretty quickly. I actually opted to use 150 centimeter bales instead of the 125s, so we'll have less of them, and it's actually, our bale wrapper could actually support the 125s and the 150s, so that'll give us, you know, just less bales to move around, which is nice. Speaking of which, that's why I swapped tractors, because this one has the front loader attacher on it, so we got the loader hooked up with the bale, whatever you want to call it, bale grab thing, whatever it is that we have. So we're just gonna hook up to the trailer now, get this all ready to go. And yeah, as you could actually see if you look, yep, just there to our left, my dad has started to mow the big field, so he's making some good progress. He got done with all the headlands already, so now he's just doing some back and forth passes. I know it's a super small mower, well, you know, way smaller than what we'll need if we keep buying fields like this and do grass work on them, but we'll cross that bridge a little bit later. So I want to sell these hay bales, make some money, and then hopefully that'll be able to we'll be able to afford some bigger mowers. But they are pretty expensive, so you know, I feel like these small bales aren't going to cut it. I think we might need to get into this bigger field and get some bales from there as well to fund that purchase. But yeah, so what I want to do first actually is I want to sell the bales off of this field here to our right, our newly purchased field, because I want to get, if we get it done in time, then I'll be able to get, I'm actually going to go in the other way, it's a little bit of an easier turn, but if we get this all plowed today, then that means that we can actually get oats in the ground tomorrow. And I know that the soil might not be the best, so I do want to keep an eye on, I'm going to do some tests and kind of keep an eye on the nutrient levels in the soil to see if we need to get, you know, like some lime down or anything, but I'm a little bit hesitant to do so because I don't want to rent any kind of lime spreader and not just do it all at once for like all of our fields, you know what I mean? So I want to wait a little bit later in the year to do it for the rest of them, so I might hold off on lime. But if it's really, really bad and we're going to get crops in it, then I do want to try to get, you know, the best yield that we can. Obviously fertilizer we'll be able to fertilize, but in terms of lime, I'm not sure what to do about that yet. So we'll check the levels, we'll see. We got to get it plowed first anyway and get it turned over. But yeah, for now, we're just going to load up these bales and get these sold as quickly as possible. I'm thinking I can get at least 6 on here for sure, and then probably if we could do another stack of 4, maybe we can get 10 per trailer load. But just got to be really, really careful with these bigger bales. They might not be as easy to move around. But yeah, with my dad mowing that field, once we get these sold, I'm going to go and think about leasing a plow so we can get this plowed up today and start getting some seeds in the ground tomorrow. All the other hay bales we could just worry about selling tomorrow or even in early May if we want to. It's not supposed to rain for the next couple days, so we should be pretty good on that. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump into a little bit of a time lapse, get these bales on the trailer and sold, and then I will talk to you guys once we have done that and we're ready to move on with our day. See you guys soon. Haha, there we go. You will not beat me, bales. You will not do it. I swear, if there's one thing in this game that gives me the most satisfaction, it is successfully loading a trail of bales by hand. I refuse, I've said this in videos before. I said this a lot in my 1,000 Cows series because we were doing tons and tons of bales of silage and hay for, you know, TMR. And my verdict on auto load is that I don't hate it. I just hate using it like when you drive around with a trailer and just drive up next to bales and just keep picking them up. I think that's really annoying. Like that to me is not realistic, and I like to play with a bit of realism, you know. And so there's a satisfaction too about like just doing the work yourself. And so here, actually, before I go on my rant, let me look at where we're selling these. I'm not actually sure. So if we want to look at some hay, where are we going to go? Let's see. I think it's down here. The heck's the hay? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we want to go to, it's all about the same, Oak Bridge bales. Where's Oak Bridge bales at? Let's see. There's not a ton of price fluctuation, so it's really not. I mean, we're still kind of on the higher end. I want to say Oak Bridge bales is going to be down here. Oh, that's all spheres. And the farmer's market is over here. Yes, there it is. Okay, cool. So we're going to go, we got to go all the way down there. It's going to pick up the road here, and then we'll go left at field 26. We'll go up there. Okay. All right, that's not a terrible drive. It's going to be a little bit though. So yeah, so we'll rant about autoload for a second. So yeah, so the reason, you know, I don't like only using autoload and just driving up next to bales with a trailer and then just pop on the trailer and are all like really nice and pretty. I think that's a little bit of kind of cheating. But what I don't mind is either using an autoload trailer in combination with a manual loading tool, or using a manual loader or an autoload like pickup thing with a manual trailer. So, you know, that way you at least have the ability to pick up the bales yourself and, you know, plop them on a trailer. You got to drive up to the trailer and, you know, they get all nicely stacked or whatever. Either they're nicely stacked in the loader or they're nicely stacked by the autoload trailer. So like, I don't mind. I know there's a mod that I love. It's like a like a really tall bale grab, and it's got, you know, up to like 2 or 3 bale capacity depending on what kind of bale types you use, and it'll put your bales in a beautiful stack, and then you just plop it right on a trailer that doesn't have auto load, and it still gives you the satisfaction of having to, you know, go pick up the bales, put them on the trailer, but they're all nice, they're all clean, and they you know, they look really good. So I think I might, maybe I'll get something like that later on in the episode. The only reason that or later on in the series, the only reason that I'm using the combination that I'm using is because we're currently dealing with a relatively, dare I say, relatively small number of bales, even though in like the last episode I sold, or between the last episode and this one, I sold like 150 silage bales, which is actually ridiculous. It took me like 4 hours just to load them up and go because I had to load like 10 at a time. Which is crazy. We got 10 hay bales on here, which I'm very, very happy about. Kind of big, not the biggest trailer. I think maybe in the future we'll get ourselves a bit of a longer trailer. If I can get like, you know, 2 more bales on the bottom and get a row of 4 on the bottom, then that means that I can get another 2 bales on the top, so I can get 4 more bales on. And, you know, it adds up quick, right? And plus this thing's a little top heavy, just given the length of it, but it is easy to maneuver, which is why I opted for a shorter trailer to begin with. Didn't really know how much bale work we'd be doing. So, you know, right now, not really complaining, but, even better, I mean, maybe in the future, maybe I'll even get some kind of, like one of those, not auto load, but automatic loading bale trailers, you know, the ones that actually reach out and like grab them and throw them on there. That might be really, really nice. But yeah, I think we're coming up here to the sell point. It should be, I'm gonna guess, probably around the back. No, it's gonna be on the other side of the BGA. Go around here. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you're this far in the video. Let me know in the comments what your verdict on autoload is. Is it cheating? Is it not? Do you use it, you know, do you use it in combination with kind of manual loading like I suggested to make it just a little bit easier and cleaner? Because I admit the bale physics are a bit sketch in this game, so it is hard to get clean bale stacks, as you can see right here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just unhook this, see how much money we make. Ooh, 3,800 bucks plus the environmental score puts us up to almost 4 grand for one load. Dang, I'm not disappointed about that at all. For hay, it's not bad. I know it's a lot of volume and it's not, you know, as much as silage, but we can get the money now. So who knows, if we get all these bales sold and, you know, we have enough money to afford the to afford a better mower. I mean, maybe we'll see if we can even afford some other equipment. I know I've talked a lot about getting some additional equipment for the farm, such as another seeder and everything like that. So we're going to go ahead and just sell all of these bales in this field. And then we'll think about, you know, what time that is, and if we have time to actually get the field prepared and planted with some crops. But dare I say that it is actually probably about time to call it an episode. I know it feels like maybe I haven't done too much, but we've actually done a ton of work. It's just been a lot of, you know, little jobs that have kind of added up. So we've been working hard today. You know, we've done some grass work, we've done some tedding, we got our new tedder, we got our new tractor, or our new windrower. We did some tedding, some windrowing, some baling, and now we're going to sell all these bales. So it's just a nice chance to, you know, kind of update you guys what's been going on the farm in terms of our new equipment, kind of what the future plans are. So like I said, next episode, stay tuned. We're going to get that field prepped. We're going to get some seeds in the ground, hopefully, and if, you know, we have one day left to get the oats in the ground, but I would like to do that so we have a couple of different crops to harvest in the fall. So yeah, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and be sure to follow along in the series or catch up on old ones if you missed them. But in the meantime, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out.